Jalito.
Yeah, there we go. All right, y'all. We're going to get a look at nature. We're going to peek our heads in. This is a special edition of Light Hour. And she don't like it. But see, one thing about this, if you know this, it's always in you. You don't need preparation time. Because this is what you are and this is what you live. So, I put her on the spot, y'all. We got a Nadie in the house.
Jalito,
Yeah,
beloved.
for this Light Hour episode, man. This Light Hour episode is just going to be about
The power of nature.
there it is.
The intelligence of nature.
There it is.
Our divine connection and bond with nature.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm kind of question her, being from a lady aspect, and nature being
energy.
a feminine energy, and being that nature is a feminine energy, I want to kind of explore that connection, and how does that band every female on the planet together, regardless of race, ethnicity, distance, origins, backgrounds, regardless of any of that. So, how does it feel to be feminine, to embody the feminine energy?
First and foremost, in all things we strive for balance. So I do recognize the presence of both energies, the feminine and the masculine. Right now in this day and time, the feminine is peaking more than anything, just simply because more so of the hurt and pain aspect that's going about, that energy, the fear that people are starting to get, all of that. You feel it on a grand scale. We're very emotional when we're dwelling and dealing in our feminine aspect that puts us closer and deeper into the emotional aspect of things. Of course, the fear that's being put out there is going to affect the women more than the men. It's going to make the men angry. It's going to make the women emotional. It's emotional to a point where we begin to connect to the, I'm just going to call it the celestial bodies, and to nature. The nature aspect.
Okay, time out. So, we have seen when we breaking down these celestial bodies, we have heard pros for them and their archons, but those celestial bodies are different dimensions in what?
Within ourselves.
Right
on. I mean, take the Kabbalah, the tree of life.
That's a mushroom. The tree of life is a mushroom.
But when you take that image and you really realize what that image is, of course, what is it called? It's the image of the man. It's the body.
Yeah, Adam Cadman.
Adam Cadman.
Yeah, Adam Cadman.
And we also understand, so even in astrology, you look at astrology, you have your houses, all of these things that make up you yourself. So the celestial bodies and everything are within us. That's just
that's how we have that connection.
Yes,
to
that's how we understand
what we supposedly see outside of ourselves, and how it has an influence. Like, because where Saturn hit you all in your nutsack and shit. You know what I'm saying? Make you bow down. You know what I'm saying? Get in line. You know, it's just
the energies and aspects you see within yourself,
yes,
within the minds and bodies of man.
Archetypes.
There it is.
Archetypes. And your chakras, and you know,
all of that stuff plays a part with that. That's why in Reiki you deal with the subtle body as well as the physical body, because each chakra pertains to a different organ or system in your body. Yeah. Or energy flow, frequencies, vibrations. Go ahead.
But no. That ties into like overall the feminine energy, because if we see, like, we're sitting here talking, we're in the feminine, we're in the mind of the father. No, we're in the mind of the father, in the body of the feminine.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's a masculine thought and a feminine expression of that thought.
Yes.
Yes, because the mama is matrix. She is Maya. She
has
is
the construct that the master builder.
There it is.
That's the feminine energy, and it's interesting because it has to create and it has to destroy. Isn't that interesting?
That's the nature of it. Yeah.
And
I'm sorry, like just using like in mythology, using the dead to create the living.
Yeah. And the Papa Vo, Go and get the bones of your ancestors.
Yeah. We're gonna make this right.
Yeah.
So how does that coincide? Because let's talk about these two feathered people that you be seeing.
Okay.
And I think I asked you this, like, who be giving the directive? Who be giving the order? Like, this is what's going down.
And it's exactly how you explained it. She's the force. He speaks it all the time. Very few words.
Right.
You know? Nuisance, be gone. I had to tell the car to be gone. Sorry, y'all. I mean, we knew it was going to move, but I don't want no more to come through.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, she's the force. She drives everything. And he speaks it all.
So he's the mouthpiece.
Mm-hmm.
But she's that Shakti. She's that.
Yeah, she makes it happen. She has a very tall staff. Well, they're very tall. Very, very tall. And they're adorned by feathers. And they said they were adorned by feathers to be able to catch the burdens of we. Of we. Just, the human race. We as a people, we, the collective. Okay? There's no discrimination at all. You will never be addressed as anything but my child, my daughter, my son.
So with that kind of designation, would that be somebody pivotal in real life? Or
they refer to themselves as many. And they say that they are our ancestors. Many dead niggas. Meaning,
many live niggas.
It's almost as if like cut it out. Quit trying to count it, calculate it. Quit trying to seek it and search it. Just know that it is all.
4, 8, 16, 32. And that's how many, that's only 5 generations back.
Right there. Including every other branch that branches off from each individual.
Right.
And then their branches and their branches and their branches and their branches. So we got to get this race, color, different, get this shit all out your head, because we are all from the same source. The same being. The same thoughts. The same notion. Spark. Flicker. Movement.
Come in there.
The same.
Breath. So it ain't no feminine. From where we come from, there is no feminine. That's just is.
It just is. Yeah. That is natural.
Answer for just endless light.
It is natural.
Damn. So.
But and it's interesting because they recognize themselves and they accept themselves and each other, and there's it's just understood. You can tell there's a presence about them that's just I am. It is, and I'm going to help you understand. That's kind of how it feels. Well, he speaks, and he does not just speak out. He speaks into you. There's no words that are not necessary.
Every word has a purpose.
Every word has a purpose. So
that ain't my daddy.
There will be sentences where there's words that you would think would be included and they're not. It's straight to the point.
Yeah, it's no dressing up. It's so Kind of like no consonants.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Well, there's no small words like the, is.
Yeah.
It's not really those types of words. When
Words
they
more
speak,
like words of power.
yeah, when they speak into you, like, I'm just going to tell you a brief little portion of that message that was received that simply said, in this moment, this is okay. And what it was describing when it said this, because it's speaking like into you or as you, in you, this is okay. And the individual was crying. This is okay. Feel it. And the female principal, her staff to the ground. She struck her staff to the ground, a frequency went out. Every time, and you see the ripple. Every time.
And that's just off weed. That's not even off the ayahuasca or mushrooms yet. That's just off smoking some good weed. So you got to learn your plants. Mama gave you some good shit, but go ahead.
I mean, this was also off of a really good night's sleep.
Yeah, you slept hard that night. You slept.
And it was just, boom. This is what's going to happen, and this is the message. And even in the moment, because in that moment there was a conversation, it ceased. And it needed to go forth, and it did. So, and it was well received and felt. Now, that's the thing with me. This is how it connects back to nature and the feminine aspect.
Get out of my head, you, because I was finna tell the people, like, look, don't think we ran off track. See, she been around me long, so we'll run around the track instead of just cutting through the football field.
We bring it back.
It's coming back. It's coming back. It all is in the purpose. So that was the purpose. Like,
so how that goes,
yeah.
So let me get it out. How that pertains to the feminine aspect and nature is that in this moment, in these realizations, there's this word that has been going around lately, actualization, which changes the fact, or which turns that realization into action. That's what happens when the feminine energy is allowed to spike up and we're in control of our emotions and our feelings. So we're understanding and knowing what we're feeling. And in turn, able to take all those emotions, because people, they're not comfortable in my emotions. I don't like being emotional. We have to be in order to feel. So once we get to that place where we allow ourselves to deal with our emotions and to feel them, then we can turn our realization into actualization, into action, which puts us in the position where we can go out there and we can identify what we need in that moment to heal, fix, repair, restore, whatever the condition is in that moment.
To live.
In unison with nature. And that's the problem today, because we're not. We have forgotten it.
And I'm not saying this right here is not, like you say, it's about balance, but it's about understanding your being. And most of our women have that. That's where that old saying from, man. If your old lady gonna tell you who good for you, who ain't good for you, what you need to go. And that has recently been turned to where it's, man, nigga, I own this, man. Nigga, I run this without, man. I used to tell niggas all the time, man. This old lady say something, like, you better listen to your
real, genuine love takes place in the partnership.
Yes, especially if she loves you. She gonna tell you number right.
True.
What she feels.
You see, and this is the thing, and this is the reason why we're different.
Wired. We're cross-wired.
Right. The reason why, and that's exactly how it is. We are cross-wired because we all do have both aspects within our being. Oh.
You a bad light switch. Man. So you that light switch that be, you thinking it's off, but the light be on. You be saying, damn, the light switch is off. Hold on, let me click it up. Where it's on, now the motherfucker off. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's a switch and reversal sometimes, but that love is needed, because when women just really picture a moment where you really love a woman, and I'm talking to you brothers in this aspect, and then I'm going to talk to the women on the receival of what I'm getting ready to say. You look at a woman that you really genuinely love through and through, where it's damn near unconditional, if not already unconditional, and you see her hurt and pained. What is it that you want to do? What is the you can't help it, you can't fight it? What do you want to do when you see it like that?
You gonna make it right. You
right?
gonna, whatever it takes.
Are you gonna embrace her?
Yeah.
Saying make it right. I'm getting emotional because you have done this for me in every way possible. So you're gonna be there for her mentally, physically, spiritually. Whatever you can do, you're gonna do it. Because you don't want to see her like that. Mm-hmm. This is the dynamic of the masculine and feminine, even in nature. It's supported. It has to be the same way, and that's like the real driving force that really can turn all of this crap around. And you know, we see it, the hippies and all this. It's all about love. It's love. It's all about love. You know, they had something going there. And what did they do? They fucked it up by introducing all them crazy ass drugs, the synthetics.
Yeah, LSD.
Getting us away from nature.
Yeah, eating real mushrooms.
Because that's what the bond is, though. So the human nature bond.
How old for what we've been studying on as far as human and the plant, especially like the fungus. Like when we've been the last 3 books we done finished. Well, just not psychedelic, just the plant period. Of having the respect and action via we use it out of love to get into each other on hard.
That's why the breath is so important.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they said you can access DMT just through proper breathing techniques. Like real dope shit.
Being around certain trees and plants as well. Yeah. But we're more like trees than we think. We're more like the plant vegetation period than we think. Get photosynthesis. We need water like a motherfucker, and they do too.
And what them niggas ate, you gotta think, just like really use your imagination and think back to a man fresh on this planet. What does every animal do? You have to see yourself in a real sense that you are not all of these titles that we have attached to ourselves with civilization.
Yeah, no, we let ego run amok.
Yeah, we're domesticated. You're an animal. But what is the relationship with the cow and I'm gonna use the indigenous animal, with the bison and the land? Remember Dr. Phil talked about that fractal connection that they had because it's a firm and established.
That bison is what it eats, and what it eats is that bison. So it's going to eat off the land. It's going to one day die, and that cycle is going to continue.
Yeah.
That means it's not just a physical connection, it's an energetic connection.
But see, exactly. And I was going to say this to that fact. Because it's no more bison, free wild roaming, graze. It was a story about a wolf that the hunters killed. That it had a little brook area as a pack of wolves. And they killed all the wolves. So that little brook area got overran. The fish stopped coming. The beaver stopped damming it up. It like messed up the whole ecosystem just because
it altered it. That word alternate makes me think of different dimensions, levels of existence, parallels. Right. It didn't just fuck up this one, it fucked up other ones as well. So then you have, and I lost it. I hate when I do that.
That's the weed too, y'all. That's the weed. I hate when I do that. Yeah, man. This is all going on within Pachamama.
Man, she's not stupid.
This is all going on within her.
She's very intelligent. She knows what's going on. We have fucked up the time continuum. We as fleshly beings upon this planet, whatever you want to call it.
Flat or round, regardless.
We fucked it up. That's what I wanted to get to, the ley lines and the meridians. The energy flow
The
is
veins.
not right. Yeah, and then our waterways are the veins.
Yeah, the waterways are the.
The waterways
that one picture you had.
inside and out, on the surface, beneath, all around. We have destroyed. We have started to destroy this place, man.
Okay. I've been.
And we've been talking about watching the movie The Happenings again for a minute. We need to, because ultimately she's gonna have to shake off the parasites, man. She's gonna have to get rid of the virus, the plague. She's gonna have to get rid of it.
So it's just a touch on it, and it's not that this habitat, this training habitat was meant to be a prison. We have made it a prison.
We made it one.
This was I love that Earth album, because that's what it is. This is an avatar training, and you're able to, man, access so many points. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you come through, stop. Oh, you want to go to high levels? We're gonna have to run you through this right here real quick.
Yeah, we gotta see if you can take it.
You know what I'm saying? Real live test what they do before they shoot the rocket up in space. They test that some bitch. Then they have a real live for guys who play sports and girls who play sports. Y'all know on some like a real live scrimmage where it's like 90%. You know what I'm saying? You don't go a full 100, but you go 90. We want the game tempo. So that's what's going on. Training habitat. Not just for this body,
It's
for the soul.
Our soul.
For your mind as
Can
well.
it fathom, or are we gonna go through this crap again? Or can you fathom what you really are? Can you handle what you really are?
At the base level. Stripped of
That's
all
a shame,
of your titles.
but it's a shame, right? That we have to have a training ground. We have to have a place to figure it out first, instead of just being.
Yeah. Sad. Don't get sad.
I'm not sad.
But it's a beautiful habitat, though.
It is beautiful.
And it gave
was in its purest form.
And it gave us for the time. And then people recorded it on the temples and the walls. It gave us. It opened up to what this shit could become. That just, think about it. It has an ebb and flow.
Mm-hmm.
So even it couldn't have remained. But you gotta know how to get back there. So this is the reintroduction of your shamanism.
Yeah.
Still out here. You gotta work fast.
Yeah.
Because guess what? These dimensions are fall crashing down on each other. And you got to have a good contingent plan. You got to know how to navigate this shit.
You got to do this inward. This is some inward work. And I don't know why the song, Etta James' song, Trust in Me, popped in my head. It's trust in me in all you do. You have to begin to trust yourself. We have a knowing, and that's another message that was given. Yeah, okay, they got their stories, and they got your story that they're rewriting and they're telling, and I'm paraphrasing. But it's really in your DNA. It's embedded in the coding. And it's spiritual coding, what they don't know how to identify. The scientists say they don't know how to identify it because it's on a spiritual level. We have to be able to get to that point in ourselves and learn what that coding means, represents, what's for, what's it unlocking, what is it telling you. That's what shamans were able to.
Yeah, they were able to navigate the dimensions of. You see what I'm saying? Because this reality matrix. Hey man, if you're speaking about a dimension and a place and it's physical, it's still dealing within the feminine context.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just how, you have to sit back as a creator of something, and especially using nature to create. you have to sit back and marvel at the framework, the intrinsicness, like, God damn, like the neural pattern connectivity to what I see right here in front of me. It's a process that goes on that's so fucking that fast. That's all the product of Maya. You can be mad at it, oh fuck this earth and all that, but then when you really let that voice shut up and you feel it, and then you feel it first, and then you allow it to tell your brain what you're feeling, not your brain tell your heart what it's feeling.
Right. Like, go back and watch that scene on Avatar when he first meets Materi, sees all the luminescence and all of that he wasn't able to see before. Yeah, so she was like more of the representation of him seeing spiritually for the first time.
Yeah. The light. Yeah. Oh, it is somebody. Yeah. Just hold up, you got what you need. Just you gotta see it.
Yeah, and you gotta be able to snap out of this the bullshit.
Yeah, man.
And come back to the organic aspect of you.
Go on suckle up on the titty of mama, man. That's all it's saying, man. That's what we're saying. You gotta suckle up on the titty.
Get the right nutrients again. Let go of the mundaneness of this
Speaking
world.
about the happening, if you get back in tuning, if it's like the happening, you ain't gonna be the one that they gonna be trying to figure you out. Like, why these motherfuckers ain't dying and they whole neighborhood dead?
You just said it.
What?
Gotta get back on mama's what?
Yep.
There it is.
So,
oh, there we go. Can y'all see that? The seed actually looks like a nipple, a breast. You see the milk ducts, I guess you'd call them, yeah.
And they fly too. He missed it. But man, this has been a special rain edition hour, man. I thank you with that. You know, that's always a message. I love to hear it because it's like, I know them niggas. Like, I
Everybody
know them.
does.
I know them. Like, and she's my connection to giving me a visual, like, nigga, go back down. We'll see what their names is. You know what I'm saying? You need to go back and see what their names is. Because I know them. I know them. That staff, and you hit the ground, and it's like,
She alone is powerful.
Yeah, you said she did some healing, too.
Yeah, she touched the shoulder of the person, and the pain immediately went away that they have in their arm, their shoulder. Immediately.
Yeah. So and you go back to any indigenous culture too, they knew who they people were. So that's, you know, I've always said that to even know how to, you know, come at getting to know, you got to know, you know, where you come from.
Yeah. And you really don't have to. I mean, it's a wonderful feeling and a wonderful moment to do it on a physical level. Outside. But it's even able to do it on a spiritual level when you're able to go within and find out. That's even more beautiful. And you know, anything that you do on the physical, you're doing in the spiritual and vice versa. So
resonance
happens.
Oh, not resonance.
That's magnetism and radiation.
Not radiation.
Yeah, what you're giving off and what you're pulling in.
What's the word I'm saying? It is. It's because what you do here, it gets anyway, it's slip my mind. That is, but yeah,
it's still resonance. It'll come to you regardless. So that's magnetism. It'll come to you regardless.
Yeah.
So as you seek, you know, in the physical, you'll also find.
Well, y'all enjoy the rain.